We got another good one brewing here at Constellation Field. 2-2 game here in the fourth. We saw a classic game last night here at Constellation Field. Unfortunately, Sugar Land unable to come out on top in a 7-6 loss. Courtney Hawkins will face Robert Carson. Here as we begin action in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
Hawkins was at the plate when Silverio got caught in that rundown between second and third.
First pitch on the way, and that is sent into center field. Running in is Witherspoon, and he makes the catch to his left for out number one. One pitch, one out for Carson here to start his fourth inning. He'll face Matt Chavez, who struck out his first time up. Actually, Carson's only strikeout victim thus far. Carson was listed as the 16th best prospect in the Mets organization in 2010. Moved up all the way to 12 before 2011 spring training. Made his debut in 2012 with the New York Mets. Chavez looks at ball one, low and outside. Chavez batting here from the right side. He looks at ball two, upstairs and outside from Robert Carson. Well, Lost Cajun, a new sponsor for Sweet 96 on the broadcast. Carson saying his favorite food is seafood, especially any kind of Cajun seafood. Gotta like that. The 2-0 is fouled back.
He's also a big fan of rock and heavy metal.
Man, so Carson seems like a guy that we could both get along with.
Yep.
Chavez, 2-1 count to the first baseman. One out, Sugar Land and York tied at 2 apiece as Chavez fouls that one back. Chavez hitting .315 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs in 13 games against the Revs. This series, however, he's just 1 for 15 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Carson deals the 2-2. And that is ripped into center field. Witherspoon will not get there. That'll be a single for Matt Chavez. Witherspoon stopping that one as he slid. Tried to make the sliding catch. He's lucky he didn't get by him.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a great shot at it. Kind of a risky move. Lucky for him, it didn't go very far as he smothered it and then ran back to get it.
So Albert Cordero has a runner on in Chavez with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, York 2 runs on 4 hits. Sugar Land also 2 runs on 4 hits. Cordero flew out to third base his first time up. He is DHing tonight. Carson keeping close watch on Chavez, but delivers the pitch to Cordero. And that is low and in for a ball. Cordero hitting .260 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs in 12 games against York this season. This series, he's 4 for 13. That's a .307 mark. The former Binghamton Met. 1-0 pitch on the way from Robert Carson, and that is hammered into left field. That's way back there, but catching it on the warning track is Wellington Dotel. Chavez goes back to first base. So that is a deep second out for Robert Carson.
Yeah, we're seeing with the wind now blowing in from right center, it's not going out to left, and some balls hit hard on the nose. It looked like they were going to leave the park and just keep staying here at Constellation Field tonight.
Derek Norris steps in.
Carson actually got to play with the Mets in 2013 with Rick Ankiel when he was a hitter. It would have been interesting to ask him how it was playing there with Rick, no longer a pitcher. You see that story like once a decade with a pitcher where they have just lost the ability to throw it anywhere near the catcher, that mental block they called in Rick's case Ankielitis. 20 years earlier, Steve Blast, the Pirates had that problem. They call it Steve Blast disease. It's a terrifying thing. It's all mental because Ankiel could throw a rope from center field to third, but he couldn't throw it 66 inches anywhere.
I wonder if him and Cordero ever played together. I bet you they did. I'll look into that.
I don't know that Ankiel ever got demoted for too long in the minors after he was hitting.
Derek Norris sends the 1-1 pitch deep into right field. That drops in. Rounding second is Chavez. Rounding third now is Chavez. The throw home is going to be close, and it gets past the catcher Cruz. Derek Norris will go to third, and it is an RBI double for the Skeeters catcher. Sugar Land goes up 3-2.
Norris hit that one on the nose, gets his 17th double of the season, and really they had him dead to rights at the plate. Chavez, the ball just kind of bounced over the mitt of Luis Cruz. Otherwise, he probably has Cordero by a few feet. Also be an E4 as the ball gets past the catcher, Luis Cruz, allowing Norris to go into third.
So the Skeeters take a 3-2 lead here in the fourth and still could get some more here. First pitch on the way to Phipps, and it's a strike right over the heart of the plate. 0-1 count to Dennis, who is 6 for 15 in this series, batting an even .400. Looking for RBI number 29 on the season to get Norris home. Another swing and a miss here from Phipps. 0-2 count. 2 outs. Sugar Land leading the Revolution 3-2. Robert Carson kicks and fires. Inside. There'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Dennis. Former big leaguer to former big leaguer right here. Phipps played for the Reds in 2012. Carson, a former New York Met. And he strikes out Phipps here on the fastball outside. Strikeout number 2 of the day for Carson, but not before Derek Norris sends home Matt Chavez on a RBI double. Skeeters taking a 3-2 lead here as we go to the fifth. New pitcher in the game for Somerset. That would be Chase Hutchinson, the 6'5", 215-pound lefty from Scottsdale, Arizona this season for the Patriots. He's 5-1, a .436 ERA, 33 innings, 28 strikeouts. Juan Silverio will lead things off for Sugar Land in the bottom of the 6th inning. Skeeters leading Somerset 4-2. Somerset cutting Sugar Land's lead in half in the top half of the 6th, scoring 2 runs. Silverio looks at a first pitch strike and hits the second pitch into left field past the diving shortstop Rodriguez for a base hit. Silverio, his second hit of the night, and he's aboard with nobody out. And Matt Chavez has been taken out of this game, the Skeeters all-star who was DHing tonight. I'm not sure why. I hope there was no injury. Chavez leading this team in batting average at a .336 mark, so hope he's okay. But it's going to be Javier Betancourt filling in for him. And he will face Hutchinson here. And he swings and misses at the first pitch from the lefty. Lefty against righty matchup. Betancourt batting here from the right side. Was our player of the game last night. Went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Supposed to have a night off tonight, but instead filling in for Chavez, who was subbed out of this game. 1-1 count to Javier, who's hitting .207 on the season with 11 RBIs. One pitch on the way from Hutchinson, and that was swung on and missed by Betancourt. Makes it a 1-2 count to the youngest member of this Skeeter team. Betancourt just 23 years old from Venezuela. Hutchinson spent the first 5 seasons of his professional career in the Mets organization. As Betancourt sends one right to the first baseman, Boyd, who makes the catch for out number 1. So there's one down with Silverio at first base. Skeeters 4 runs on 6 hits. Somerset 2 runs on 7. As the 6-hole hitter Albert Cordero steps in. Hutchinson reached AAA in the Mets organization. Also spent a couple years with Double-A Binghamton, where he was teammates with the first baseman, Jace Boyd, who just made that catch, as well as Matt Oberste. That ball sent right to Boyd again. That's off his glove. It's a second baseman, Francoso, that ends up with it. The toss not in time to first base. A headfirst slide from Albert Cordero. He gets in safely. Great play right there from Coco. Boyd tried to field it to his left, went right off his mitt. Francoso ended up with it, makes the toss over to first as the pitcher Hutchinson came in, but a headfirst slide from Cordero gets him aboard at first base. And we'll see how they rule that. Could be an error on the first baseman, Boyd. As Robertson will step in, making his Skeeters debut tonight, the former big leaguer. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound here between the catcher Gonzalez and the pitcher Hutchinson. Well, Robertson, you Astros fans listening might be familiar with him. Spent the past few seasons in the AL West. As he awaits the first pitch from Hutchinson. And the first pitch sent into left field. That's the first base knock as a Skeeter for Robertson. It will not be the first RBI, though, as Silverio is held at third base. And the bases are loaded, just one out. And that will bring up Luke Dystra, who made his debut yesterday, got a hit, and has a hit so far tonight. 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. And the bases are loaded for the Skeeters right fielder. Batting here from the right side against Hutchinson. Pitch on the way. And it swung on and missed. Well, Dykstra began the season in Double-A Springfield in the St. Louis organization. Hit .225 in 49 games. It's originally selected by the Braves in the 7th round of the 2014 draft and has a chance to extend the Skeeter lead right here. The 0-1 is inside to Dykstra. The son of World Series champ and 3-time All-Star Lenny Dykstra. At third base is Silverio. At second is Cordero. At first is Robertson. Pitch on the way, and that is a slow grounder hit foul down the first base side. It'll be a 1-2 count on Dykstra. Skeeters 4 runs on 7 hits. Somerset 2 runs on 7. Sugar Land jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. In the top half of this inning, Somerset cut that lead in half. A big chance for Sugar Land to add on some runs here. Bases loaded, just 1 out. 1-2 count to Luke Dykstra, one of the newest members of this Skeeter team. He only has 4 career home runs in his 5-year career. He has not hit a home run since 2016. The 1-2. They're actually going to call this a foul tip. The catcher, Gonzalez, couldn't hold on to it, and Gonzalez is down. I think that ball hit him in a bad spot, as he is in some pain right here. And the Somerset trainer comes out to take a look at him. Gonzalez trying his best to get up as he's on one knee now. But hopefully he can stay in this game. I think he just needs some time. Brett Jody, the manager, out to check on him right now. Phil Lee, the trainer, also with him. The crowd here gives a nice applause to Gonzalez, who is one of the better defensive catchers in this league. He's thrown out a couple Skeeters in this series. Well, while we're waiting, let me fill you in. Sugar Land scored 4 runs in the bottom of the third take a 4-0 lead. Somerset scoring 2 runs in the 6th, both coming off of bad pitches from Dallas Beeler. One was a ball way upstairs above Cordero's head. It would have been ball 4 anyway with the bases loaded. So that run comes home to score. And then next batter, he throws a wild pitch, very unlike Dallas Beeler to do that. Justin Trapp comes home to score. That made it 4-2. And right now, the Skeeters have the bases loaded, just 1 out with Luke Dykstra, who only has 4 career at-bats as a Skeeter. This is just his 2nd game. And let's see what he can do right here. The 22-year-old right fielder from Thousand Oaks, California. Swung on and missed at the pitch, low and away. And there's 2 away. Oh, that will bring up the 9-hole hitter Alvaro Rondon, who, much like Dykstra, doesn't have a lot of power. Just 2 career home runs from Rondon, none this year. On the season, hitting .290 with 36 RBIs. Skeeters lead at 4-2. Bases loaded, 2 down. First pitch on the way to Rondon is low and outside. Rondon, with the bases loaded, hitting .500 in 10 at-bats. The 1-0 is also outside and low for a ball. 2-0 counts to Rondon. Ahead in the count against Hutchinson, 2-0. And that one is fouled off to the left side, out of play. Rondon extending his hitting streak to 6 games earlier in this one. He has singled and struck out. On that hit streak, Rondon hitting .347 with 2 RBIs, and the base hit here could have a lot more than 2 RBIs in this series. And it's a slow grounder hit toward the pitcher Hutchinson, who throws out Rondon at first base. So like the Patriots did in the 4th inning, Skeeters leave the bases loaded, do not get a run in, and Somerset still trails Sugar Land 4-2 after 6. We'll be right back. You're listening to Skeeters Baseball